we? First of all, I want to welcome everyone here. I'm beyond thankful, honored, humbled, and just absolutely grateful for each and every one of y'all's presence here today. There was faces that I saw that I had no idea that I was going to see, and there was faces that I knew I was going to see and had a completely different reaction to seeing them. So thank y'all for that. And just, I've had to tell myself recently that whatever I'm feeling is the right thing to feel. So we're going to be laughing together today. We're going to be smiling. We're going to be crying. We're going to be thinking about a lot of different things. But there's no wrong way to feel today. This is just your day. It's my day. It's everybody's day. So a couple logistics. If you have not signed the guest book, it'd be wonderful if you did. And just as an update, kind of the flow of what we're going to do right now to honor Mom is we're going to kind of keep it short and sweet, because if we didn't, we could be here all day and into tomorrow. After I finish here, my lovely wife, Katherine, is going to speak for a couple minutes to represent the in-laws, or as we so affectionately call ourselves, the outlaws. Nathan, there we go. And she'll also be representing the grandbabies that Mom and Dad just love so dearly. And then after that, Wayman Tyrie has graciously given us his time and is going to do a couple minutes in honor of Mom as well. And then after that, I'm going to do my darndest to read a poem. I've read it like 19 times today, and I'm going to try to make it through. But before we talk about Mom, there are a few thank yous or appreciations, as I like to call them, that we need to get out there. And there are way too many people to appreciate individually, because everyone has done so much to help our family and our friends through this entire year. It's been unbelievable. Secondly, I'd like to thank her caretakers at the Rocky Mountain Health and Rehab. There's been a bunch of them here today. And not only did they take care of Mom, but they fostered a really kind, caring, and loving community for all of us that visited her to come in as much as we wanted to, decorate the room, write on the things. The only thing they wouldn't let us do is put a lava lamp up. They shut that down pretty quick. And then, again, there's too many people to mention, but all the aunts and uncles and cousins, just what an absolute support system for all of us y'all have been, and for Mom. Randolph, Joe, Paige, Vicky, Nanny, Hansford, Bob, and Liz, Ben, and Flo. And I don't think there was a time that I ever went to visit where there wasn't in there bringing Mom flowers, dry erase board, or just sitting and talking and reading. These folks showed up in ways that y'all can't even imagine, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Her hiking and book club friends who showed up religiously to regale everyone with tales of her adventures across the world, down in Snow Creek, whatever it may be. My sister, Elizabeth, Liz, Lizzie, Lizard Breath, whatever you would like to call her. Your dedication to our father and Mom and me throughout this was beyond words. I don't know how you did it. You deserve a medal, any color you want, whatever. And my dad, Spook, Bill, Phil, Uncle Phil, whatever you want to call him, he was there at that facility so much, this is no joke, he got his own ice, he got his own coffee, he got his own coffee cups. The man fixed a broken pipe. I am utterly convinced you deserve a retirement package from that place. But in all seriousness, your love and dedication to Mom has always been evident to everyone that knew the two of you in any way and in any capacity, whether it was fleeting or whether it was a deep emotional way. Everybody knew it. We should all be so lucky, all of us in here, to have a person who would love and care for us as much as Dad did for Mom. So, before I turn it over to Katherine and Wayman, I want to share a real quick story about my mother. There are literally millions of stories I tell to people up north about my mom and my family, because I'm a storyteller. And I couldn't figure out exactly which one I wanted to tell, but I thought back about it over the last week or so, about the one I tell the most to kind of personify as my mom and how I cared for her. So, the summer before 6th grade started, I got real nervous, deeply anxious. Despite my overly extroverted personality, I'm quite nervous when starting new things, especially if I don't know exactly what's going to happen. All I could think about that summer was how lost I was going to get on that massive campus, how late I was going to be to all of my classes, how often I would forget what my locker combination, what is a locker, what do you put in a locker, how did you get it out? Ugh, I had a lot of anxiety about the locker. How long would the lunch there be enough time to eat and then make it back to class? The list of uncertainty, long, detailed, and constantly about the summer. I was bothering my mother to no end with all these questions and constant dread. I even called my friend Gabe Roby, who was a year ahead of me, to ask him several questions about social studies. I don't know if you remember that, but I was like, do we have to remember all the states and their capitals? And you were like, no. But, so what I really wanted to do was be with her. I have the words for it now as I'm older, but I wanted to feel safe. And she would make me feel safe. So I begged and pleaded for her to pull some strings and get me transferred to the East Hall, or from the East Hall to the West Hall. Finally, she said she would, and she did it. I was so happy. I had a new schedule, and keep in mind, they'd already sent the schedule and everything. This was the last minute. So I had a new schedule, new teachers, new hall. Everything was going to just be great. So every morning for 3 years, I went to her and Mr. Edwards' computer lab before class. It was a great place to be. I had my friends and I had my mom in that room. All was right. Never got lost. What a mom. Most teenagers try and go out of their way to steer clear of their parents in social settings. I felt the opposite. New friend? Come and meet my mom. We can hang out in her classroom. She's the best. So, bottom line, she always made me feel safe and grounded, like she did to a lot of you out there. And like, honestly, everything was going to be okay when I was around her, and she was right. And I would like to say, as my dad is very fond of saying, your mama will do things for you no one else will even dream of doing. And I really hope I thank my mom enough for helping me with that transfer. So, Katherine.
Wow, look at everybody here. I knew we'd packed the place, but I didn't think we'd need another room. As my husband Rye mentioned, my name's Katherine, and I married into the Parcells. Bob, I did it. I got a Parcell in my mailbox. And I met Emma about 17 years ago. The first time I came to Ferrum and Rocky Mount actually was for Emma's mother Helen's funeral. I think I'd only met Emma once at that point. But there I was sitting in the church up the street, crying like a baby for a woman I'd never met. Emma may have shot me a funny look or two, but funerals just do that to me. Doesn't matter who it is. They just make me feel, as Rye mentioned, even if I don't know the person. I think Paige and I may have been the only ones who were actively sobbing. But now I'm here speaking at Emma's funeral. And I don't know how I'm going to do this without crying, but if Rye can do it, I think I can do it. So yes, I've known Emma for 17 years, but looking around the rooms at all of you, I feel like I should say I've only known her 17 years. She's touched so many lives for so much longer than I've known her. My time with her feels like a blip. She's spent an incredible 81 years on this earth, so think of all the thousands of people who were lucky enough to meet her. But she's the grandmother to my children. They're Nani. And so I'm up here representing her grandchildren, Harper, Rafe, Emma, and Leo, her in-laws, Nathan, and all of Spook's brothers and their families, and all of those who weren't related to Emma by blood, but were forever changed because they knew her. Whew. I will remember Emma for lots of things. but she will always be the coolest lady I knew. She was so hip and so fashionable and stylish. And in her fancy pants and her Bowden prints, she'd be drinking a PBR and rolling around on the ground, playing Weebles with the grandkids. They're clambering all over her. She didn't spill a drop. She had an eye for art and an ear for music, a deep love of poetry and books. Something would catch her eye. It could be a little ad in a magazine or a poem or a kid's scribble. And she'd put it in a frame and put it around the house, and it would look like fine art. And she and Spook, they were hippies through and through, as I'm sure most of you know, rocking peace signs and lava lamps and tie-dye and righteous bumper stickers to this day. We are all here because Emma meant something to us. She inspired us, she touched us, she cared for us, she taught us, she laughed with us, she sweat with us, she learned with us, she played and imagined with us, she lifted us up, she celebrated us and celebrated with us. We all have our moments with Emma, and I know if we had all the time in the world, we could bring you all up and hear about each of those memories today. But alas, I imagine Flora Funeral Home would like to go home at some point. So instead, I'm going to ask you to think of an Emma moment that's really special to you. And if you will, turn to your neighbor, someone you know, a stranger. Just turn and share that moment now. And we'll hear the rumblings of all these Emma moments out there. Should I wrap it up? I don't really know how to stop this, but whew. Oh my. Okay. Whew. Thank you. I saw a few more tissues come out at that. So. We've also heard from so many people around the world, literally, once we shared the news of Emma's passing. And the condolences and memories and messages in general have just been staggering. And I'd like to share a few of them that really characterize Emma. Some words may have come from people in this room. Her light shined so bright. She was sweet, kind, and caring, and I know how much you all adored her, and she adored you. A true inspiration in the classroom and at the Y. She made everyone around her feel loved and important and seen. I am grateful to have met Emma and experienced her warmth, humor, brilliance, and spice. We share your heartbreak. She was a very special person, mom, grandma, nanny, and a very special friend. Her heart was always on display. She was passionate about teaching. Her classroom was a beacon during the hell of middle school. She had a heart of gold. Her energy was boundless. She made an important difference in many lives. She leaves quite the legacy of kindness, dedication, and grace. Emma and Spook were the first hippies I ever met in the 60s. What a magical time. She possessed a positive mindset that lifted everyone around her. She was soft-spoken, intelligent, and kind-hearted. An incredible matriarch that clearly made an impact on all those who had the good luck to be in her orbit. Emma was simply the best. There's not much else to say. So I'd like to leave you with a few words from Emma's beloved Beatles. This is taken from the song Across the Universe. Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, they slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are driving through my opened mind, possessing and caressing me. Images of broken light which dance before me like a million eyes, they call on me, on and on across the universe. Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letterbox. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. Sounds of laughter, shades of life are ringing through my open ears, inciting and inviting me. Limitless, undying love which shines around me like a million suns and calls me on and on across the universe. Thank you. Now I'd like to welcome up Wayman.
Let me first start off by saying, I know Mr. Parcell will love this because he's become, we call him family out at Rocky Mount Health and Rehab, and I'm looking for him a job so we can keep him out there. But I think in my years of preaching and speaking, this is probably the most nervous I've ever been. So let me start off by saying, any teachers that had me back when, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Today we are here, I think, for a very, very important reason, and that's to not just show love to this awesome family. Rye and Elizabeth and Mr. Parcell, like I said, have really become family. I told, I think it was, maybe it was Elizabeth, that when Miss Parcell first came to us, you remember that evening? I was on the floor for whatever reason. I was working on the floor, and Mr. Parcell whispered to somebody she didn't want a male. And, you know, we get that all the time. Okay, well, you got to switch out. It didn't take me about 2 days, and I won her over. And then I think every day I was in and out, in and out. And then I want to say thank you to Mr. Parcell because guys, I lost my dad just in February. And when I walked into work the first day, I think Mr. Parcell was the first one to greet me and gave me that smile and just let me know everything will be all right. Working in nursing, and I'm going to get to scripture, but working in nursing, it's probably just like teaching. That's why I apologized for the type of person that I probably was. But thank God, I had no choice but to get better. But working in nursing, there are times that, three things actually that bother me, and that's when we can't do enough, and then when we try to do and it doesn't work, and then losing someone that really has captured your heart. And that is something that Miss Parcell did. There's so many of us, the morning after her passing, I couldn't even, initially could not go to Mr. Parcell to see him because I'm a crybaby, and I didn't want to see him hurting. The love that he showed for his wife and his family, and then the person that she was, you could do nothing but love her, because even in her worst day, she couldn't say thank you anymore, but the smile said it to us. And so it made us understand that, and if you get nothing out of what I say this afternoon, yesterday is gone. What will you do with tomorrow? This lady has lived her life, and The only scripture that I could find that would be fitting enough would be 1 Thessalonians 4:13-18, that says, but I would not have you be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if you believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep with Jesus. And then it goes on and it goes on, but what I want to bring out is in this time, when we feel such heartache, we feel pain, we feel loss, we probably are fearful of the unknown. What do we do tomorrow? When the calls stop, families go back to their homes, and well, Mr. Parcell knows we're going to get him a part-time job, so he's got somewhere to go. But when everything around you has become the unusual, what do we do? There's a different reaction that we should take, and Paul specifically addresses those in the church who have lost friends and family and loved ones, and he tells them that we should react differently than those who have no hope. Two things to keep in mind. One, our mourning is natural, and our rejoicing is supernatural. An important reality that we need to face is, Paul reminds us that if we believe in the gospel, we also believe in the second coming of Jesus Christ. No topic is more comforting to us in our loss than that of the resurrection. It's the true hope that only we as Christians have. The scene he describes causes us to pause in our grief to anticipate the future. So again, I ask you or tell you, yesterday is gone. What will you do on tomorrow? The privilege of knowing a deceased person is when you get lonely, you can go and think about something that they did to make you smile. When it's cold or raining, I can think of my mother not wanting to move out of the house, but my father, just like Mr. Parcell, would drive the car to the door and act like a doorman and walk her. She was the spoilest woman ever seen in the world until I met the Parcells. Mr. Parcell walked in faithfully every morning with the bag, and sometimes I got something out of the bag, but the majority of the time it was always their breakfast. He fed her, he cared for her, he loved her. And so what I say to you today, Mr. Parcell, is on tomorrow, think of the good, laugh and enjoy the memories, because the Bible teaches us that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. So we may, in scenes like this, have to say goodbye to our loved ones during the time of death, or we may not choose to say goodbye. The important thing is that we never say goodbye to the thoughts of them. We must remember people, and both the living and the dead. People are important. All people are important to God, and they should be to us as well, especially family members. It's sad, however, when we lose family. But I'm done. I told Mr. Parcell, you give me 5 minutes and I'm going back to work. I'm not going back to work. They let me, I can hang with you today. But I believe if we really, really thought about the person that I got to know, the Emma Parcell that I got to know, the smile that she carried up until the very last day, I think Miss Parcell would probably, if the sky could open today, she would say to us, I'm free. Praise the Lord, I'm free. No longer bound, No more chains holding me. My soul is resting. It's just a blessing. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm free. God bless you, family.
Well, let me just get on out of here. Thank you. I heard this poem at my youngest son's graduation not too long ago, and I was immediately drawn to it. It checked a lot of boxes right off the bat for me. It was funny, endearing, nuanced, and sweet, and it was read by a teacher. What more could you ask for? So, the poem is called The Lanyard by a fella named Billy Collins. The other day, I was ricocheting slowly off the blue walls of this room, moving as if underwater from typewriter to piano, from bookshelf to an envelope lying on the floor, when I found myself in the L section of the dictionary where my eyes fell upon the word lanyard. No cookie nibbled by a French novelist could send one into the past more suddenly, a past where I sat at a workbench at a summer camp by a deep Adirondack lake, learning how to braid long, thin plastic strips into a lanyard, a gift from my mother. I had never seen anyone use a lanyard or wear one, if that's even what you did with them. But that did not keep me from crossing strand over strand over strand again and again until I had made a boxy red and white lanyard for my mother. She gave me life. I gave her a lanyard. She nursed me in many a sick room, lifted spoons of medicine to my lips, and laid cold face cloths upon my forehead while sick, and then led me out into the airy light and taught me how to walk, taught me how to swim, and I, in turn, presented her with a lanyard. Here, my son, are thousands of meals, she said. Here is warm clothing and a good education. Here's your lanyard. I made it with some help. Here is a breathing body, a beating heart, 2 strong legs, bones and teeth, 2 clear eyes to read the world, she whispered. Here's the lanyard I made at camp. And here I wish to say to her now is a smaller gift. Not the worn truth that you can never repay your mother, but the rueful admission that when she took the 2-tone lanyard from my hand, I was as sure as any boy could be that this useless, worthless thing that I wove out of boredom would be more than enough to make us even. I did it. I didn't cry a bit. So, I'm not sure how we end these things, so I'm just going to say something. But I really appreciate all y'all for coming today. It means so much to our family. We all loved our Emma. She was all of ours. She was and still is our friend, mother, sister, aunt, cousin, grandma, wife, and so much more. We're all here because we loved her. We share this grief together, and we all were lucky and blessed to know her. So when you find yourself thinking of her and wanting to honor her in some way, read a book, listen to the Beatles, plant and pick a flower, ride a bike, and do so with a smile on your face because, God, she would be so proud of you for doing it. Thank y'all so much.